Good afternoon, South Africans. Good afternoon, members of the media. My Super Six members of Parliament, our national chairperson. Thank you so much for this great opportunity. I mean, more especially to you, the media, for obviously making the time to come and really listen to us. Remember when we as a party took a decision to deploy these 6 great South Africans to Parliament, we committed to get them to account to people of South Africa, because we strongly believe as a party that their representation is not the representation of Action SA as a political party. Action SA is a vehicle that they are using to account to South Africans, because they're here to serve people of South Africa, not to serve Action SA as a political party. So thank you so much, and the caucus leader, Athol, for really accepting this huge responsibility. I mean, at the time when I made the commitment to the media and people of South Africa that we will account to them on a quarterly basis, at the time I had not really spoken to them, but I decided they cannot only account to us as a political party, they must account to the voters, they must account to the people of South Africa. And I'm so profoundly proud for them for having accepted this responsibility, and listening to them this morning makes me so proud to be a South African. It makes me so proud to be a human being. It makes me so profoundly proud for having left my business to get into politics, because realized after 1994, 10 years later, my country beginning to really taking a wrong direction. In 2015, I then took a decision to say, look, I'm not going to run away from this country. Under the current constitutional framework, let me take advantage of this great opportunity this country has afforded me over almost 40 years, close to 40 years or so in business. Use my privileged position to really play that small role in my life. I'm one person who actually believes that failure is not an option. I will only accept failure after having tried. That is really my motto in life. That is in my DNA. And listening to my colleagues this morning, I'm really very proud. So Athol, Lerato, Dr. Klape, Malebo, Derlin, and Alan, I'm really very proud. Just really listening to you, being accountable, being prepared to really face the nation, to say this is our responsibility. So this is just really the beginning. And I think Michael and your team for having developed this KPI. I think, I saw it for the first time this morning. Michael just gave us an overview. And I'm really so proud that we are going to really be measuring this government not on ideological criticism, because we've taken a decision as a political party to be an effective, constructive opposition. Because if you look at what has happened to our country, and it's currently happening right now, we have high levels of corruption. High levels of corruption that makes me ashamed sometimes of what's happening to my country. And at the same time, we look at how South Africans are being polarized along racial lines. It actually makes me more determined to really be in politics. The job that is punishing really very seriously my personal liberties, completely compromised. But I think it's something really worth it for future generations. And I think if I look at the space that Action SA has to play at a national level, crucial, because we cannot really develop this country with the levels of corruption we have experienced over the last 30 years. At the same time, we cannot really prosper or develop this nation if we are not going to get South Africans to coexist Because if you look at ourselves as a country, we can't undo what is the current status and situation of our country. What we need is we need a political party that can actually unite us and get us to accept coexistence. And that's something that we are unapologetic about as Action SA, for really playing that this critical role. And I think and I believe it's important that I bring you up to speed with our participation in municipalities. As I've indicated, at national level, as a political party 4 years old, that's something that I think you guys need to really be aware of. Action SA is only 4 years old. And I remember after the elections, because we had too much expectations, but reality dawned on us. We had the 6 superb members of parliament. Just for your information, Action SA, 4-year-old party, we are represented by 101 public representatives in all 3 spheres of government. We achieved this in 4 years. As much as yes, we were devastated when the results came out. But on reflection, a few weeks down the line, we realized, my goodness, we are only 4 years old, but we are represented in all 3 spheres of government. And as you've just really noticed, the last few weeks, with the latest development yesterday in the city of Tshwane, our executive mayor announcing her executive team. Yeah, it's a new political party, only 4 years old. When some people had already written our death warrant, we've really bounced back. We are now leading the capital city of this country. Put together a team that we are confident is going to turn that city around. The city of Tshwane is very important. It's unfortunate what really happened, but we had to do everything in our power. We have the constitutional right to defend ourselves, and that's exactly what we did. I'm a very strong believer that when you are faced with a threat, and a threat that wants to really destroy you, what you do, you attack first. And I remember one incident in 1978, after writing my exam, visited my family in Orlando West, and my cousin was going to Bloemfontein to go and visit his family and asked me to accompany him. And one of the nights, I spent a week in Bloemfontein, in Tabanch, when in the townships there, Puchabelo, or whatever the township it is called. I remember actually one evening after having some drinks, I was tired, I wanted to go home, and I decided to leave on my own. It was around about 1 or so in the morning. And in one of the streets, as I was approaching home, I see a group of guys, 3, 4, and I wasn't there sober, as one would have laughed to. And here's the danger. And I had no protection. But fortunate enough, where and how I grew up was to always, when faced with danger, attack first. Because I realized these guys, what they were planning to do was to rob me, you know. And I said, no, I'm not going to allow this. So as I approached them, what I did, I charged at them first. And obviously, they saved my life, and it gave me a chance to go through. And this is exactly what happened in Tshwane. It came to my attention that there was a plot to destroy our organization. And I decided, Herman, this is what you did in 1978. Attack first. And that's exactly what we did. And here we are. We've ended up being the leader of a coalition government in the city of Tshwane. Something that I never planned, but it happened, and we had to protect ourselves. And I'm overly proud of the work that our executive mayor, Dr. Nasipi Moya, has done in the last 2 weeks on her own. Now you can imagine today she started with a full team of 10 MMCs, who she's going to hold accountable. Some people are thinking that Action SA is going to be controlled by forces outside. I can assure you, Action SA is going to lead this multi-party. And why we're going to succeed is because we've taken a view of running and operating with humility, with honesty and ethical leadership, and a commitment to the people of Tshwane. That's exactly why I believe we will really succeed. And are we going to follow the same model in other municipalities? Give us the chance to really look at, to see if we can use our influence in the city of Johannesburg, in Ekurhuleni, because that's where we have the numbers. And people of Gauteng deserve better. And I believe if Action SA does not really engage on this particular matter, will be failing not only people of Gauteng, will be failing people of South Africa. So we are going to involve, let's put Tshwane to bed, and ensure that we deliver services to all the communities and residents of Tshwane. And we'll start negotiations to see how Action SA can play a crucial role in the turnaround of the city of Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni, because that's where we have the numbers to make an influence and ensure that come 2026, because we've already accepted South Africa has entered an era of coalitions, and we will work with other parties that are prepared to work with us, but work with us with respect, humility, and we take the arrogance out of the kind of structures that we will develop. The reason why I think we managed to put together this government in the city of Tshwane was our approach to negotiations. We went to these negotiations with humility. We went to these negotiations to negotiate the best deal for people of Tshwane. And I strongly believe that we will deliver and hold our people accountable. We are not going to tolerate corruption. We are not going to allow anyone to divide the people of Tshwane. We are going to really be the vehicle that is going to unite South Africans through our governing measures that we're going to be putting in place in the city of Tshwane. So thank you very much to everyone who've really participated in this, and look forward to report back to you in 3 months' time again to take you through what these colleagues are doing in Parliament, very important institution to safeguard and ensure that it delivers for people of South Africa, create a better future for our children and our grandchildren. Thank you so much.
If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. And as always, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.